Let's get some analysis now from Andrew Leung. He's an independent China strategist. He joins me from Hong Kong. Andrew, appreciate your time. Do you think China has lost patience with the ongoing unrest in Hong Kong and is now forging ahead with this law, considering that it was the type of law that had been put on the table several times, but the NPC had never actually passed it?
Quite rightly so, because I think Beijing has been pushed to the wall, as it were, having waited for something like 23 years since Hong Kong reverted to the motherland, as it were, in 1997. There is this provision in Hong Kong's basic law, Hong Kong's constitution, which safeguards national security. But because of fierce local opposition, the law remains not enacted, and as a result of the last year's protests, and some of them involving acts of violence bordering on terrorism, and also with demands, open demands in kind of slogans and flags for Hong Kong's self-determination or even independence. And also there are signs of involvement of hostile foreign forces. Now, at a time when the United States in a new Cold War against China, so that rattles Beijing greatly. And as I said, I mean, there's no way that this provision in the basic law, Hong Kong's constitution, can be easily implemented anytime soon. So I think that Beijing has resorted to this as the last resort, which is, of course, allowable in the basic law, bearing in mind that Hong Kong is a special administrative region of China. And there are national security laws in many countries around the world, including Turkey. The question is that how such law can be implemented in Hong Kong without sacrificing Hong Kong's high degree of autonomy.
Yeah, and I mean, Hong Kong has enjoyed a very high degree of autonomy, considering laws were enacted to actually protect that autonomy. I just want to touch on the point you raised a little bit earlier. China today spoke of a Cold War with the United States, and we know that Washington has been very vocal about this law interfering with the freedoms and rights of those who live in the city. Do you think this new type of Cold War is actually unfolding at the moment?
Definitely, because even before the coronavirus crisis happened, there was a 360 degrees pushback by the United States against China. And such pushback is not just from the Trump administration, it's across the aisle with both parties, because the perception is that China has become a rising challenger to Americans' dominance or American primacy in the world. Not only on trade, but also on technology in the South China Sea, and on a broad front. So there is this kind of emerging Cold War. In fact, is reminiscent of the China scare in the McCarthyan days during the old Cold War, when everybody seems suspicious is termed communist. And then there is across the board, all of government pushback against these risks. So I think we're seeing a repeat of that even before the coronavirus crisis. But then, of course, the crisis accentuates this as President Trump wants to have a card to play with. And the easiest card to play with is the China card, which, as I said, is across the aisle.
Yeah, very interesting times we're living in. Andrew Leung, live to us from Hong Kong. Appreciate your analysis.